I'm Nitin Chaudhry. I work for iDiscoveri. So basically, an organization which works inside the classrooms, irrespective of which school that classroom really belongs to, whether it has marble or granite flooring or it has mud walls and thatched roofs. So we believe that inside the classroom, the transaction between the child and the teacher needs to be of the same high quality, irrespective of what the child's parents are able to pay to that school. So I'll not talk too much about the product and services that we sell, but about the learnings that we've got by working with various schools in various segments, working with thousands of teachers, and of course, which has led to the product that we offer today in the market and the work that we do. So the basic objective of all of us sitting here, I think, is very, very clear, and there is no debate that we want winning children. We want the children to do well in school. We want them to enjoy learning. We want them to have a strong foundation of concepts which they can go on and apply later on in life. But the reality is that most teachers, parents, and children struggle in the early years. We heard about quick fixes to learning, which is the rote learning, the pressure that we build on students, send them to tuition, go look for another school, put my son into this class or that class because that teacher is better, never really realizing that the two other objectives that we had of enjoyment of learning as well as fundamental concepts building is all left out. And then we get into a blame game, really, and blame the children for not being intelligent. We label them in various ways. We call them average, low IQ, dull, duffers, various names, very unfortunate ones which we've heard in this country. We blame the teachers for not being committed, never realizing their reality. They actually came into this job because it was really a part-time job that they got into. There are no tools that are given to them to enable them to have a good quality transaction with the children. And finally, we blame the system, if nothing else really works, or the board or the competition for creating this atmosphere in which children are not really learning. What have been our learnings in the school space? Children are different. In the classroom, all the stuff that I talk about here today would be inside the classroom. We realized that children are different. Not all children are learning. So therefore, if they go to school does not really mean that all of them are learning. And learning does not really mean by rote memorizing. And therefore, knowing something and learning something are two very, very different things. So therefore, two big ideas for school which really come from worldwide research in the area of education are the experiential learning methodology of COLE, which is also prescribed in the master curriculum framework of India and in Dr. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. So these are the two big ideas which we got from worldwide research in order to take them into the classroom. There is a huge amount of awareness about these today in all kinds of schools, but how do you take these two inside the classroom is something which is really missing. So we can have training programs, we can have sessions and seminars where we propound these two theories, but what does the teacher next day do when she goes into the classroom is just the same. Inside the classroom, syllabus is not equal to curriculum, and telling is not equal to teaching. So what is happening today inside the classroom is the syllabus gets translated into books. The syllabus is decided by the board. The books are written by a publisher. The teacher reads them out or tells those books in the classroom. And then in the exams, the children are required to reproduce the whole thing. And we say that probably learning is happening, whereas all of us know it is not. It's a linear one-way train, as I've written there, of emphasizing uniformity, which means everybody should learn in the same way, should reproduce the same answers, and we should teach as many children as possible. Desired state is not really teaching or telling. Desired state is not really syllabus. Desired state is a curriculum. A curriculum is made of these 5 parts. As we say, it's a 5A model. You need to define the aim, the goals, and the learning objectives, which is the syllabus. You need to have activity-based classrooms based on the big idea that we talked about, experiential learning. children need to do things in order to be able to own those concepts. The teacher needs to be trained enough to help the children connect that concept with their own reality. There needs to be space to apply the skills which the children are learning. And finally, you need to assess whether you have achieved the learning outcomes which you set out to do or not. And finally, building capacity. How do you ensure that this happens inside a classroom? You need to train teachers, right? Training is not equal to skilling. We have trained, we actually started off about 8 years ago as a teacher training company. And very soon, in about 2 or 3 years, we realized that A, it is not scalable, B, it is not sustainable. Why? It's not scalable. How many warm bodies can I have going and training every school? There are 1.4 million schools, and that number keeps changing in the country. And how many warm bodies can you put to train the teachers? And most importantly, training alone is not really sufficient to lift the quality because it has a very, very short-lived impact at best. Like even in corporates, you do a training, the trainer has charisma, he has knowledge, he creates a wow, and he goes back. Next day morning when the teacher goes into the classroom, is she able to do something? So I can do a wonderful training about experiential learning here, and there are about 10 odd school owners sitting here. They would all be wowed that, yeah, Nitin told us such wonderful things, but will they be able to apply that in the classroom next day? Is a big question mark. So what is the solution? The God lies in the detail, and that is what we found with real hard work, that you need to get down into the classroom and define every 45 minutes that the teacher and the child spend together. Each one of those 45 minutes needs to link back to your academic plan. And so what we've done actually is gone down and written experiential learning based lesson plans for all subjects, all classes. We have over 4,000 lesson plans up to class 6 today available with us, which we give to the teachers after the training is over. So once she goes back into the classroom, she has something very, very tangible to read. First 5 minutes of the classroom, ask these 3 questions. Set the tone. Next 10 minutes, give the children this activity to do. Next 20 minutes, ask them to reflect on it, analyze what they just did, connect it to the reality. Last 10 minutes, give them an assignment to do, or give them a homework to do, and how to assess that. So therefore, Ashlesha also talked about formative, continuous, comprehensive assessment. So you have every day assessment being done, added with something which we've introduced called the learner meter, which is like a thermometer you plug into a child's